Hello and welcome to my channel where we discuss various topics on fantasy, historical fiction, and the like. And today we're going to be talking about The Last Kingdom. More specifically, we're going to be diving into some fan theories from Reddit for the upcoming final season. So without further ado, let's get into it. A couple of months ago, a poll was posted on the Last Kingdom subreddit asking Redditors to vote on which theory they think is most likely to go down in the upcoming final season. And that got me thinking about what sort of events we're likely to see happen and what might come as a surprise. So here's a video that no one asked for where I'll list the 6 theories from the Reddit poll and talk about how likely or unlikely I think they are to happen in the series' final season. Just a quick disclosure, I am not going to base any of my predictions off of book canon, considering the show has recently strayed from the books enough to plausibly assume the show will end much differently. Theory number 1. Uhtred never manages to retake Bebbanburg. I don't think this will happen. I think by the end of season 5, he will have taken back Bebbanburg. He's been working towards this since episode 1. And although not all stories have a happy ending where the protagonist achieves their goals, it would retroactively make a lot of the shit he went throughout the entire series to retake Bebbanburg feel pointless and empty. But because this show has never shied away from characters we love suffering tragedy, failure, or heartbreak, I can see Uhtred losing someone or someones close to him, either in the process or just at some point during the 5th season. Like maybe Ethelfled. There is a theory on that, separate from this list, that Ethelfled might die. Go watch that video if you haven't already. So basically, I think Uhtred's going to have a bittersweet ending, but I do think he will retake Bebbanburg. Theory number 2. Uhtred kills Brida. I really don't know, but I will say if he does, I'd be willing to bet it's gonna be in self-defense. Brida was pretty hell-bent on killing Uhtred and Stiora even in season 4 as revenge for Uhtred allowing her to be captured as a slave by the Welsh, and did not do so only because she lost her influence over Sigtryggr, who was more interested in negotiating than appeasing her personal wishes. Then, when she went rogue and tried to just slice him up anyway, Uhtred, as usual, was able to protect himself from her, and he sent her packing.
Just leave.
Brida has always been vengeful, so it is unlikely that she will have moved on from her desire to kill Uhtred. And I therefore see her setting out to kill him or possibly one of his children, most likely Stiora again, since Brida is more aware of Stiora's existence, who is now living amongst other Danes, which will leave him with no choice but to kill her to save his family and or himself. I do believe that if Brida does not survive season 5, she will certainly have been killed by Uhtred, since it would be more poetic, if you will, that he will have to kill the character that he, at this point, has known the longest. They were friends since childhood and basically grew up together and were even lovers for a time. That could be another highly conflicting dilemma Uhtred will be faced with, and I gotta say, I'll very much enjoy seeing it play out. Theory 3. Finan, Sihtric, or Osferth dies. I really hope not. I honestly don't even want to entertain this as a possibility because of how upsetting that'd be, so I'll keep this one short. Based on events and character development from the past 3 seasons, I say past 3 seasons because we didn't meet any of them until season 2. They've given us no reason to believe that either of Uhtred's pretty boys will be killed off.
Uhtred and his pretty boys.
But like I previously mentioned, it is likely that Uhtred will have to face some more tough repercussions or tragedies before the story comes to an end. This could happen in the form of the death of one of his closest companions, but we'll see. In season 4, we saw the death of Father Beocca, one of Uhtred's most trusted friends and the longest relationship he's had with anyone. Beocca's death, as devastating as it was, didn't come as much of a surprise as we kind of saw an end to his story in season 3 when his wife was killed. When Beocca died during Uhtred's attempt to take back Bebbanburg, it made sense for one of his companions to get killed in the attempt, if the only consequence of the mission, take back Bebbanburg, was that the overall task was unsuccessful and everyone walked away scot-free, it would have felt pretty anticlimactic. Not that I was at all pleased to see Beocca get killed off, but anyway, we've been given no reason to believe that this is likely to happen. Theory number 4. Edward gets killed by Ethelhelm and his daughter. I'm honestly not sure what elicited the OP to come up with this theory in particular, but I'm interested in entertaining it nonetheless. Now, I know I already stated I'm not basing my predictions off of occurrences that took place in Cornwell's novels, but I think we can loosely use major historical events like the deaths of significant figures such as King Edward the Elder to base predictions around. And since he is said to have died around age 50 in battle, it's not likely that they'll kill him off in the show from a murder by his wife and father-in-law, but it's not impossible, of course. This theory might have been made on the basis that Ethelhelm attempted to murder Elswith, Edward's mother, by poisoning her in season 4, but I find it unlikely he'll try murdering another member of that family again, especially since it seems like he was unsuccessful in his last attempt. That was kind of left on a cliffhanger, but we've seen enough season 5 promotional photos of Eliza Butterworth as Elswith to make the conclusion the poison did not in fact take her out. I also don't see that he has much to gain by murdering Edward. I mean, I don't know, but maybe Edward starts to verbally consider Ethelstan as his successor instead of Aelfweard, Ethelhelm's grandson, and Ethelhelm murders Edward before he can bring that desire to fruition in order to prevent Ethelstan becoming Edward's heir, but it seems like a bit of a stretch. However, Ethelhelm's attempt on Aelswith's life could be seen as ample reason to predict that he's ruthless enough to commit regicide if it means his grandson will become king. Maybe. As far as Ethelhelm's daughter, Edward's wife, goes, there's been plenty of evidence to suggest Elfled is simply too dumb to pull off murdering a thoroughly and perpetually protected king, but you never know. Theory number 5. Finan and Edith get together. Yes. It's no surprise that this was the top voted option. They basically spell it out for us in season 4. She clearly seemed interested in him multiple times last season, like when she instantly friend-zoned Osferth while he was macking on her by asking him what Finan's deal is.
His name is Finan, isn't it?
Oh.
And he seemed interested in her at a few points with a few flirty jokes. Plus, it was Finan who locates and picks her up after the Ordered Shield Wall transpired during the battle between the Danes and Saxons in Winchester in the last episode of season 4. Also, we've never seen Finan, a beloved and cherished character, with a romantic partner in the show, so it's not outlandish to think they'll give him some romance before his story comes to an end, however that may happen. And finally, theory number 6. War between Mercia and Wessex. Not likely. The tension between the two kingdoms was figured out before the end of season 4. Edward and Ethelfled were working together by the time that season came to an end, and there wasn't any lingering conflict. There is always the possibility that if Ethelfled dies, maybe early on in the season, her successor rekindles the previous conflict with Wessex or starts an entirely new conflict, but if Ethelfled survives the complete season and remains Lady of Mercia, I really don't see this happening. So let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these theories, and also let me know if you have any theories of your own for The Last Kingdom's final season. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to support my channel and subscribe to see more videos on fantasy, historical fiction, and the like.